Hello and welcome to Social Installations Creative Thinging. I am your host, Danika Dinsmore, for the first season, The Road Trip. This project is based on my studies at Saybrook University in the Humanistic Psychology Department. I am specializing in creativity, innovation, and leadership. This semester, we had to come up with a creative project, and this is the project I chose, a podcast that is going to create something internally and then bring it to the outside world. So my specialization is focusing on transformational creativity and creative agency based on the work of doctors Beghetto and Karwowski, who wrote the book Creative Agency Unbound. If you want to find out more about that, I invite you to the first podcast where I discuss these aspects of creative agency. As well, you can visit our website, socialinstallations.com, which will house all the information that we might point to in this show. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce our first cast member. And my first question for Maury Bernstein is, why did you say yes when I asked you to do this show?
So I said yes when you asked me to do the show because almost everything that you ask me to do is gonna be good to do. So if you're asking, I probably want to say yes.
Uh-huh. And so that means obviously we have a little bit of a history together,
Yeah,
a creative project,
we have a herstory.
and we have a history of creative projects. We have not done a collaborative project in a very long time.
A really long time.
A really long time. Yeah.
I believe in
Okay.
us. We still got it though.
All right, thank you. More from Maury in a moment. Next, we're going to Lori Watts. So, Lori, I'm going to phrase the question I asked Maury a little bit differently. I'm interested in the relationship between creative agency and trust, because risk taking creates trust. Why did you trust that this was going to be something you needed to be involved in?
Oh, that's a great question. I love that. I think probably when it comes to you, Danica, because we met in a place of transformation. I think, as I recall, we met at the Mastery of Self-Expression workshop many, many years ago,
Hmm.
and it was a very transformational weekend for me. Really powerful, and a lot of work that was very deep was done that required to have some trust in that
Hmm.
environment. So, my experience of you is that you're a playful, creative soul and that you work really hard and you're a lot of fun. And anytime I've had an opportunity to work or play with you, it's always been really rewarding. And I guess in terms of the agency and trust, I don't know. Don't know. I I'm just gonna say
Yeah.
yes to you anytime you ask me to do anything, and pretty much that's what's gonna happen. One of the things I know too when you bring other people on board is if there's someone that you, trust, I'm pretty much gonna automatically, trust that process and those people as well, so thank you for thinking of me. This is awesome.
Absolutely. All right. Last but not least, Scarlett Shen. Now, this is very interesting because Scarlett and I have only met once, and we didn't even really have a conversation. I was in a stand-up comedy workshop that she did at the Nanaimo Fringe Festival. I had a show in the show, and we didn't even have a chance to see each other's shows, right? So the risk that you took and the trust that you had really uh it inspired me and kind of amazed me that you would simply jump on board with a complete almost near stranger. So can you talk about that?
Um
Maybe like 6 years living in Canada, kind of I learned how to identify the white ladies that I can trust. I'm kidding. Yeah, that part of it is true. I think I'm glad that you talk about the risk and trust that they often come along together. And I think it's in my blood that I like to take risk and I like to try interesting stuff, but like uncertainty.
Hmm.
Um, and also under some level of professional control that
Mm-hmm.
somehow I get that vibe from you when you talk to me, and you're very
Wow.
persuasive, I guess. I don't know what I'm stepping into actually.
No, neither do I, really. Like there are so many unknowns, right?
Yeah.
And creativity itself, I'm gonna just open up the mics because I'm gonna start this conversation in that creativity is yes about possibility, about like how do we get from here to there, but it also has to have constraints, right? So creativity is acted within, it could be cultural constraint, it could be constraints of the equipment that you have or the knowledge that you have. There is some sort of constraint. So this project has a very loose constraints to it, right? It's very open-ended. And this is the premiere season, right? So you are my
Yeah.
guinea pigs, my
But
little
even
guinea,
the idea of just a road trip is enough constraint to hang a bunch of creativity on. Like,
right? Yeah.
in the creative process, you need a certain amount of constraint because otherwise it's just like setting a library on fire, right? Where
Mm,
it's like all the ideas just get mixed up together and it doesn't mean anything.
mm.
So in this episode, the idea is that we set the parameters for not only the next 3 or 4 episodes, depending on how long it takes for us to get to the road trip. It's setting the parameters for the road trip itself because that is limited by space and time and as well as, financial constraints. This is like that cat. What is that? Schrodinger's cat. We don't know if we open the box if the road trip is happening or not, right?
The road trip is alive and dead at the same time.
Oh
Exactly. The
my
road
god.
trip right now is both alive and dead at the same time. Schrodinger's road trip. There we go.
Oh, good.
There's quantum possibilities, and we're going to collapse the weight function over the next 4 phone calls into a particular choice.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So the constraints that the constraints and parameters that I'm bringing to the road trip are one because we are all busy people. So I believe it should be a 5-day road trip, right? The other parameter is that we each get to pick one place. So we are constrained by being able to drive from place to place within 5 days. And in that place, we must do something. We must create something. We must perform something. We must act something. And it needs
Oh,
to be done in the public space, that space. And the three of us cannot say no to what that person asks us to
can,
do unless there is permanent damage
can there
or
be
mental, pardon,
dancing? Can there be dancing?
dancing.
Oh, yeah. All the dancing.
Well, there can be dancing.
I have a question because you're talking about your constraints right now. So then I'm like, okay, so like, are we also constraining geographically? Are we staying in Canada or BC or
Well, it is
like?
a road trip and we have 5 days. I
Oh,
mean, I
we
guess
could
we could
fly
go.
someplace and then do 5 days around the place we
Yes,
started from there.
yes, we could fly someplace other than Canada and do a road trip in that place.
Tahiti!
Actually,
Italy.
is there anything on your bucket list, Scarlett?
I don't know.
I don't know. Speaking of constraints, what's the budget? Like, I
That's
just
up to us, right?
first thing I think about what's the budget for the
Yeah,
road
you got your
trip.
producer brain on. We're dreaming. We're at the dreaming stage,
We're at
Scarlet.
the dreaming stage. Don't go there
Yeah.
yet. Don't go there yet. We'll create a budget. So yes, if we want to make it doable, uh, and and so that our fans aren't, spending $10,000 to get us to Zimbabwe, then we might think about, okay, we have, one day to fly. Let's make it someplace close. Let's
Mm.
start from Banff. Let's start. So first we should say, are we going to start in Canada?
Canada's really nice.
Canada is
is
nice.
really nice.
Very nice. And it's also very big. So we have
It is
lots
very
to
big.
choose
Mm.
from.
It is.
Mm.
What if we went to, well, that's a long trip, but we could go to Newfoundland.
I've never been to
I've
Newfoundland.
never been to Newfoundland,
I
Nova
would love
Scotia.
I never.
Sounds
Yeah.
fun.
The only constraint is that might be that's a
Well,
long trip to get to Newfoundland. It's an all day kind of
Well,
thing
we
to
could
just
fly
to
to
get to
Toronto
Newfoundland.
or something and then drive or fly to,
Quebec would be closer.
Yep.
Could go Quebec City, Quebec.
Mhm.
We can
Quebec
practice
City-
our French.
Quebec City is really nice.
Really nice.
Mm.
Montreal
I
is
love
really
Quebec
nice.
City. I would go back. Also, the best hot chocolate you ever put in your mouth is in Quebec City.
Okay.
Have you been to
If
Quebec
you want
City,
to have the
Scarlet?
best, le meilleur chocolat show of all time.
I've been to Montreal, but I always wanted to go to Quebec City.
I've only been to
Yeah,
Quebec
I've never been to Quebec
City.
either. I've been to Montreal.
Maybe maybe we'll go to Quebec City, and then we'll drive from there.
So are we talking about location right now already?
Yeah, we're talking about
Okay.
the constraints of the road trip. So the first question was, you already got me thinking tangentially, because I was thinking we were starting in the Vancouver area and we were constrained by where we were going from there. I had
Mm.
not thought of stepping on a plane and renting a vehicle from there. Yeah.
Mm.
So do we want to make a list of possible places, or are you all saying let's do Quebec City?
We can have a list.
We could have a
Okay.
list. Okay. Quebec City.
I kind of feel like since it's your idea that the first place should be like our starting point should be picked by you, maybe. I don't know. Like I
Mm.
feel like you've
Well,
kind of
from
brought us along for
ever,
this great ride.
but
Mhm.
I brought you along for it to be a collaborative process, right? Not the Danica Dinsmore
Yeah.
show.
I would watch the show.
Collaboratively pick our home base, but then I could pick the first place to
Okay.
go if you'd like to bestow that honor on me.
Mm.
Bequeath it to
Scarlet,
you.
is there some place other than Quebec City? You're coming from an island already, a small island. You're on Gabriola still, correct?
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
So nice.
so coming to Vancouver to join us is an extra few steps for you.
Yeah.
There could be a place simply in BC. I've never been up in far northern BC ever.
Yeah, even going to somewhere in BC, we just came back from Nelson, and it took
I
us
was just
2
gonna say
days
we
to
could go
get
to
there.
Nelson. I was just about to say we could go to Nelson.
I love it. I
What's
like to go back
Nelson?
though.
Oh, then
Nelson.
we got to go to Nakusp and Caslow.
So I didn't know anything, but my husband picked that place for our kind of Chinese New Year vacation. But Nelson is amazing. It's a hidden gem.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to, drove. We stayed the night at Osoyoos, and then keep driving another several hours to Nelson, and it's
It's a destination you're not going to pass by. You have to make an
yeah.
effort to go up to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, but like on the way, there's nothing very too interesting. But like once you go into Nelson, it's like all the heritage buildings and Victorian architects, and the whole town is so lively, like thriving in a small, like medium. It's bigger than Gabriola,
A lot
of
of
course.
artists. A
a
lot
lot of
of
artists and a lot of
yeah.
interesting shops and interesting restaurants and I just like, what is this place? It's like smaller version of Victoria, but like have
Mhm.
a lot of young people and they dress up for work. I mean, speaking from Viola, we don't dress up for anything. We
Yeah,
just wear
you
our
put on
muddy pants and go to Nesters. And yeah, it just like everything. I want to know more about that city. That's for sure.
Okay,
Like,
here I have to tell you very quickly my Nelson connection. So
mhm.
I went on a road trip by myself, and on the way back, something called me to go to Nelson. And I knew it would take me out of my way, and I knew that it was, I have no idea why. I didn't know anything about it, but something was pulling me. So I drive to Nelson. I had the same reaction to like, how is this little beautiful gem hidden in all this wilderness, right?
And it's not
And
close to anywhere.
and so fast forward, like it was in the back of my mind, always this Nelson, this little like magical place. And fast forward a few years, I'm going through perimenopause, and I'm at the beginning where I'm just tears and depression and oh my God, I forgot to have kids and my body rebelling against me. And I sat there and I went, you know what? I'm going to Nelson. I'm going to go to Nelson and I'm not going to tell anybody where I went. I'm just going to leave a note, say, be back later. No one will know where I am. And I'll just go to Nelson. And I started laughing at the ridiculousness of this later, but it became a joke in my family when we're feeling like overwhelmed. We say like, I'm going to Nelson. So you have not been to
well, now
Nelson,
we have
Lori?
to go to Nelson.
Well, now we have to go to Nelson.
What's
Yeah.
that?
But on the way, we could stop by someplace and then
Yeah.
something
Oh
in
my
Nelson
God.
and then,
If I
you
mean,
know,
if you say Nelson, there's like Vernon, Osoyoos, like you said, Caslow's really great. In the cusp, like Caslow has that big music festival.
we should get BC Tourism to sponsor us.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I like that Nelson is a destination. It's a ways away. It doesn't require us to go through airports and all that kind of stuff. There. So what I think our homework assignment is that we step away and we each formulate, okay, here's look at the route, you know, that the route we could take, look at what's along the way. So each person picks their destination and thinks about what they want to do there. And if you would honor me, I would like to do this thing that I want to do in Nelson itself.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay.
I think I'm 95% sure I have the thing that I want to do. And at the same time, it's a little drastic, so I'll just leave it at that. Uh, so I yeah.
So so
Drastic.
then are we gonna do all the other stops on the way to Nelson and then the ride home is just the shitty come down? Or
No,
or are we gonna do like
We play the
like a
melancholy
loop
music on the way back.
where like the
we
whole trip is good?
that's totally up to all of us. So we could go stop Nelson, stop home, you know. It's up
Yeah.
to us. We get to
Okay.
decide. Dudes,
Okay.
we're in charge.
Yeah, we're in
We're
charge.
in charge.
Okay.
I
So
mean,
it's just
one of your
well, like
yeah.
the parameters are Vancouver to Nelson.
Around a Nelson vicinity-ish, yeah. So is
Oh,
Nelson the
here's
final the furthest
wait,
destination is Nelson?
hang
What?
on.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Huh? I've never been to Gabriola, so maybe we should go from Vancouver to Gabriola to get Scarlet, and then go from Gabriola to start the thing.
Sure.
So then Scarlet doesn't have to like get herself all like on her own to Vancouver.
Okay.
It would be or we could have a launch party, a small like talk about small town, like small
Mm.
town.
Yeah.
but a small town
Oh.
march
Yeah,
party
you
would be
can drive
fun.
on, you can walk on, and you can, if from Vancouver, you can take the big ferry or the Hello ferry or seaplanes and stuff. And
Ooh, seaplane! Let's take a
Okay, we're
seaplane and
doing
go get
seaplanes.
Scarlet.
Definitely. Do you see how happy this has made Mauri? We have to take seaplanes.
Mauri, you cannot fit all your road trip luggage on a seaplane.
No, but we
We
can
need
pick it back up when we're going back through Vancouver.
we need to put a picture on the website of Mauri's road trip trunk.
It's
Even I
I'm
was in shock.
not good at road trips.
She's a competitive road tripper. We may need this cable to climb the cliff. We may need our helmets to spelunk
Here's
somewhere.
what happened though. There was like, we were on that little road on the way, like by Revelstoke or whatever, and a truck hijacked, carjacked, truck snapped, it broke. The truck broke, and and the road was stopped. And so everybody's bored and nobody can go anywhere. And Kevin are like, no problem. Kevin and I just like snap on our snowshoes, ditch the car, go snowshoeing for an hour,
Oh my
come
God.
back.
Oh, I thought you were
still
going to say we
nobody's
pulled out the
moved.
hibachi and made everyone lunch and played Parcheesi.
Pretty much. Yeah. So it was like totally good for us. We were fine.
or
So
make Gabriola the end trip. You can all come home with me.
Ooh.
can we have a pajama party?
Yeah, sure.
I think the whole
Your
trip's a
pillows.
pajama party, right?
We need a onesie sponsor so we can have our logo on the bag.
I got my reindeer and my shark.
I do
I'd
believe we
like
need
to have
onesie sponsors. We
Yeah.
will shamelessly promote your business if you give us things. Absolutely. We're celebrating promoting Canadiana.
Canadiana.
That's right.
So okay, so for the next episode, we go away. We think about Gabriola. We think about Nelson. We think about what's in between, and we start formulating where we personally might stop and what we personally might want to do. The thinging instead of creative, it turns creative thinking into creative thinging. Right?
Oh,
We're
cute.
thinging
I already know
someplace.
what I'm going to do. I'm so excited. Is there timelines? Is there time constraints?
We'll have to figure that out.
Because it's like a
in the next
9-hour drive
episode.
from here to Nelson.
Right? Because
So,
like,
I just mean, like, can my thing be like 30 minutes or could it be a couple of hours or
it could be a couple hours.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't say a day-long expedition because that takes like that entire day away from traveling or and we don't want to exhaust ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
maybe. And then here's the other thing, because this is taking us through wine country.
Yes.
Is everybody good drinking wine?
I'm good at drinking wine.
You're good at drinking wine?
I
Mauri,
figured there
you
would be
drink
wine
wine?
involved anyway.
I'm drinking wine right now.
Okay, good to know.
Okay.
But before it's like, hey, we're gonna go on this wine tasting adventure in the Okanagan, and it's like, I'm in AA, and it's like, oh, sorry.
Have you heard about this? Like, have you heard about the there's not a race, but there's like a like 5K run that happens every year where you run to the different wineries.
Oh, from winery to winery.
Oh my-
Yes.
It's
We
a
should
thing.
figure out when that is. We should do that.
I wonder how many people make it to the end. What percentage of people who begin make it to the end? Like,
That'd be good. Yeah, the wine
yeah.
thing. Look that up.
Look that up. Mauri likes that one. I didn't think that you ran. We can walk it. I can walk 5K.
Maybe we
I can
just
walk
join
from
them
one
for a
winery
bit
to
and
the
then
next.
say
Yeah.
bye.
Oh, I'm not running unless somebody's
Okay.
chasing me. Like, no.
Okay.
but I can
Okay. So we have our assignments. We are looking at Gabriola, looking at Nelson, looking what's in between and betwixt, and thinking about our thing. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies. I really can't tell you how grateful I am that you joined this crazy experiment. And it's just, I mean, I did sort of stack the deck. I did handpick you, let's say. You know, I knew something about you, and I assumed some things about Scarlet. Although I did some sleuthing on YouTube and watched some of your stand-up comedy routines.
Thank you.
Of course, right?
She's not a creeper at all. No.
She's, I mean, what is and yeah, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Bye.
You've been listening to Social Installations Creative Thinging, Season 1, The Road Trip. For more information on how to fund, go to socialinstallations.com.